Boys and girls, in your packet today, you're going to see a mummy face, a mummy body, and some mummy arms and legs. So we're going to use our scissors and watch how I cut him. I'm holding my hand across from my scissors and I'm going around on the black line. When I get to this part, I turn my hand across. I'm cutting all around the curve to make his head. Moms and dads, this is a lot of cutting. If your child is good at cutting, they won't have a problem with it. But if they're not good at cutting, you can help them. The idea is we want them to do some cutting so they learn to use their fine motor skills. But they don't have to do every single piece if they're getting tired. Now I'm doing the mummy's body. And I'm not hitting each little crevice. It will still look like a mummy if I, even if I just go around a little bit. We had a mummy in our story today. The little boy mummy that was looking for his mummy. I'm going right around the edges and keeping my hand across from my scissors. Okay, there's his body. Now I have his head and I have his body. And now I'm going to cut his arms and legs. I'm just pushing my thumb up to make my scissors work and pushing it back down. And I'm kind of sliding my scissors along the paper. Gonna have to go around that thumb a little bit. Moms and dads, if you have a new to scissors kid, you might have to help them a little bit go around that thumb. Okay, there's one arm. How many arms does a mummy have? How many arms do you have? If you said 2, you're right. We're going to make 2 arms for this mummy. I'm going down the other arm now. Here's another thumb to go around. Right around that curve and right back around the other curve. And now take his hand. Take his hand. There we go. When I have big pieces like this that are flopping around, I just cut them off because it makes it easier for me. All right, now how many legs do you have? If you said 2, you're right, and that's what the mummy has. The mummy has 2 legs. So we're going to cut right around the mummy legs now. Cut that piece off. Now I have to do the last leg and then we're finished with the cutting. Okay, so we have 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 body, and 1 head. Now, today in your packet also, you have a little baggie that has some paper fasteners in it that looks like this. Open that up. Now, moms and dads, you're going to have to help your little person do this part of the job. We're going to start with the head. I have a little tiny paper punch that isn't as big as other paper punches that I'm using. You might have to use the sharp part of your scissors. But we have to make kind of a hole first before we try and get the fastener on. Okay, so I made a little hole in the bottom of his head, and I made a little hole at the top of his body. Then I put the paper fastener through, and I'm going to open it up. It has little prongs, and I'll push it down. Okay, now there's his head and his body together. Now I'm going to make little holes, and you'll have to do it with your scissors. I'm going to make little holes where his arms go. And you can decide where you think they should go. And I'll put a little hole at the top of his arm. Like that. And one like this. This is a smaller than normal paper puncher. I'm afraid if you use a regular size paper puncher, it might be too big to hold the paper fasteners on. We have a little problem in this room when we film with our camera because we have overhead lights, and sometimes it makes such a glare on what we're doing that it's a little difficult to see. Okay, so I'm going to put both arms on. And now all that's left are his legs. So I'm going to put one leg kind of on this side and one leg kind of on this side. So I'll put two holes at the bottom of his body and a hole at the top of his legs. Now you can see that I want his feet to kind of go out. So you have to decide how to put them so that the feet go out. And again, I'll flip him over and open up the prongs. Okay, now I have one more leg to put on. Put it in the hole, flip it over, and open up the prongs. Okay, now you should have a mummy that can do a dance like the Monster Mash.